Good afternoon. Welcome to Thurston County Board of County Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. My name is Ty Mentor, Chair of the Board. We have Vice Chair Commissioner Gary Edwards, Commissioner Carolina Mejia, County Manager Amiro Chavez, Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, and various staff members for particular agenda items. The public can participate in the boardroom or on our YouTube channel where this meeting is live streamed, or by conference call, which 360, I should have it memorized by now. I don't know if I have that handy.
Yeah, it's 360-252-9020, and the PIN number is 1234.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we're calling the meeting to order, 2:02 p.m., and we will begin with Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Vice Chair Edwards.
And I, in turn, am going to ask Greg Moe to lead us in the flag, sir. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion regarding the agenda for today's meeting?
Yes, I would move to approve the Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 agenda.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Agenda is approved. Is there a motion regarding board meeting minutes from February 23rd?
Yes, sir. I would move to approve the board meeting minutes from February 23rd, 2021.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Board meeting minutes from February 23rd are approved. The next item is labeled 1, opportunity for the public to address the board. The guidelines for public comment, I do have a number of names have been provided to me from the boardroom. The Board of County Commissioners welcomes comments from the public. However, there are guidelines governing such comments to ensure they are appropriate. Please introduce yourself, including the area of the county in which you reside. Please address the board, not staff or the audience. Please silence your cell phones. The board does not respond to public comments on an as-needed basis. The county manager can follow up with specific items. Speakers are limited to a total of 3 minutes to address the board and may not donate their speaking time to any other speaker. The board reserves the right to restrict the person's opportunity to address the board or the meeting for good cause. No comments that are lewd or offensive, inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory in nature. Please be respectful. No outbursts of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business. Remarks are discouraged about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the board on appeal. And finally, all materials provided to the county may be considered public records, subject to public release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 4256 of the RCW. Additionally, with multiple speakers today, the Megan Porter from our staff will be cleaning the microphone between speakers, so give her a moment to do that before the next speaker, and I'll try to pace folks on that so that we can do that orderly and safely. With that, our first name listed is John Pettit. And I'll ask the county manager to help me with time monitoring since I cannot see the clock.
Yes, sir. We have a clock going. And I will give 5 seconds
5 seconds.
warning.
Okay, good afternoon, commissioners. My name is John Pettit. I live out on Rich Road in Southeast Olympia. I know that you would have all received an email I sent to you this morning, and my primary topic today is going to be about land use. Last week, I presented a little sign to you, some information that showed that land use, based upon the charges currently that the county's charging, amounts to a planner charging on an annual basis, $420,000 per year for their services in land use. That's obviously a ridiculous number, but I'm going to help you out because I went ahead and did a little bit of work for you to help you understand what in perspective it should be. One of the things I'm going to open here with, though, is I'm going to use a comparison, and we're just going to say land use is the price of a gallon of gasoline. Well, if you were buying a gallon of gasoline in Mason County, the price would be $3 a gallon, let's say. But based upon how much higher our land use fees here are in Thurston County, that same gallon of gasoline here would be $8.04 a gallon. Do you think it's right that the public should pay 2.5 times or more for the same product? Obviously, the answer would be no, especially if you want to be able to own a home. I'm fortunate. I'm past that spot of worries, but I do worry about everyone else in the future having an opportunity. And so we need to deal with that. Because time is real limited, I'll cut through the chase of just giving you one of the examples I have for what land use fees should be. Now, one thing which we deal with is an hourly rate for these planners. Well, I took the total budget for CPED related to planning and building department and such. And if you take the total budget, you divide it by the number of employees, it comes out to $193,000 a year per employee. If you break that down by 2,080 hours, an annual year's worth of work, that'd be $92 an hour. And you need some administration over the top of them. So let's add another 20%. So that'd be about $110 an hour is what the rate should be for land use. And that happens to be similar to what many of the other counties are throughout the region. I'm going to be sending forth this information along with all the other information I can to master builders, the realtors, everyone, so they can get involved and help encourage. But I've decided I'm going to do one step further, since I don't want to take a study to take forever to get to the result we need for lower and proper level of land use fees that aren't illegal. But I'm going to go ahead and start breaking it down and giving you actual numbers that it should be, so you can make an easy adjustment. Currently, you should reduce your fees by 50% until you come up with some corrected figures, because they're illegal as they are now.
Thank you. Next on our list, after we get the podium ready, is Shelley Dilworth.
Hello, commissioners. It's been a long time since I've been in here before you, but I know you didn't think that I'd stay away forever. I'm here today, and like John, I'm going to bring up some issues
Can you state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Shelley Dilworth, and I live out off of Delphi Road. We bought the old fire station out there. We started that process in 2017, for those of you who aren't familiar with our case. The situation that I'm bringing forward today that I would like for us to look at is the non-conforming use for properties and what the state of Washington's requirement for that is. Now, I know that each county can enhance those requirements from the state, but Thurston County has not only enhanced it, but they've added their own provisions to it, which have made it illegal. When we bought our property, it was sold to us as commercial property. It was sold to us as a business commercial property. Thurston County had their business there. We immediately bought it from them, began our business there. We were shut down immediately. How is that possible? How is it possible that the land use code that we bought it under has been turned and changed a year later after we purchased that property because of what this county feels or thought at the time we were doing was incorrect? It's not okay. It's not okay to make laws, to make situations that we have to abide by and follow in this county, in this state. And then because we don't have proper monitoring, proper documenting, and proper processing situations to hold one individual accountable. It's not okay for me, and it's not okay for the several other people that are in the same situation as we are. You cannot sell a piece of property and a year later change the use code on it. It's not okay, and we shouldn't be accepting it. And I'll be making my presence a little bit more known. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dilworth. I have Eric Casino listed, but says he did not want to give public comment, and I see shaking his head.
No comment.
So we should go to any, that's the only people on my sheet, so we can go to Zoom or phone.
Greg, testify. No, okay. Let me check the Zoom. What I have is Ms. Ursula Euler. Would you like to testify this afternoon in front of the Board of County Commissioners? If you do, please unmute yourself, state your name, where you reside in the county, and you have 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you. My name is Ursula Euler, and I hope you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Good, thank you. I reside at 10448 Kristen Court Southwest, which is at the southern area in the county at the southern end of Delphi Road towards Black Hills. And this is also an area that at some point has been and potentially will be again considered for an airport area of the size of another Tacoma airport. And now you know the topic that gave me rise to come to speak to you this afternoon. My topic this afternoon has to do with work by the Commercial Aviation Coordinating Commission of WashDOT, which has been given the purpose to evaluate airline and air travel and cargo transportation options, evaluate options in order to alleviate future growth and also to alleviate current pressures, well, before COVID-19 pressures on the Tacoma airport. I only have 3 minutes. It's a very long topic and it's very involved, but I thought I'd start this afternoon perhaps to come to you to say that certainly several months ago, I know that you as Board of Commissioners of Thurston County have expressed to the Commercial Aviation Coordinating Commission, I'm going to call it CACC for short, it's too long of a name. You have expressed a disinterest, along with the Port of Olympia, you have expressed a disinterest in being a location for any airport, whether it's an interim solution or a long-term mega airport solution. I attend the CACC meetings, and I do know that there are very strong voices that are pushing for having a Thurston County site put on their selection list. And that's why I come to you, perhaps to start a conversation. Certainly we can't begin and end a conversation or even answer questions this afternoon. But I think it is for that reason very important that as political body and as citizens, we continue to stay engaged and informed. And for that reason, even though I don't need any answers this afternoon, and I will be happy to receive answers and send questions also via email, but I do have some questions, perhaps, if I may, that could start a conversation. And my questions are, is Thurston County staff or our commissioners currently engaged in the discussions of the CACC, perhaps by simply attending the meetings? Are there other ways to be engaged? And there are much smarter people than I who will know how to stay engaged and how to continue to have good information. But some other things could perhaps be providing. Has Thurston County been asked to provide information to the CACC? Am I running out of time?
Yeah, your 3 minutes are up. Can you wrap it up, please?
The other questions, are you gathering information about zoning, perhaps environmental regulations that are in the area of the proposed site, just to be able to provide additional information to the CACC? And is your staff perhaps assessing the likelihood or the suitability of a Thurston County airport site? Thank you. Sorry I went over time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Euler. Is there anybody else on Zoom?
No, let me check the conference call. Good afternoon for those members of the public who have joined us via conference call. If you'd like to provide public testimony this afternoon, please unmute yourself, state your name, where you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes. None, sir.
Thank you. Okay, very good. That brings us to item 2, County Manager's Update.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. I'd like to follow up to the public testimony you received from Mr. Pettit last week, and I believe a series of emails that follow this week, as well as his testimony today, related to the fees the county charges in processing land use permits. The Board of County Commissioners approved in the 2021 budget money to conduct a study to reassess all the fees. And the fees includes the Community Planning, Economic Development Department, Public Health and Social Services, and Public Works, because all those fees are the ones who perhaps the board needs to consider. No doubt in my mind, there certainly is time for the board to assess the fees, consider any changes, but I believe that it needs to be mindful as to what the process they need to do in order to have all that information before the board makes an informed decision. The target for this study is to hopefully we can complete the study before the board makes any decisions for the 2022, perhaps 2023 biennial budget. And that will probably coincide on some of the options the board may have as to how the board can consider changing to those fees. Just to give you a perspective, because it's not just about changing a fee or reducing a fee, because the board has made, not this board, previous boards, is a full recovery type of a fee. So if there's any opportunities for the board to reduce, supplement, or any type of changes to the fees, it has to be in the context of the budget. And that is, from the administration point of view, is making sure that we provide you with all that information that you need to do related to this item. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working with staff to bring a briefing to you just to give you a full picture as to how all the many different fees are structured here in the county. Considering that we have not done this briefing, I think it will be prudent just to bring a certain level of understanding as to where we are in the fees, how we charge the fees, and how we process the fees. And hopefully that will give, and again, building a level of understanding of that leading to the fee study that is coming this year. That is related to the item related to the fees that Mr. Pettit has stated. Also, Mr. Pettit asked a question last week about where are we on the internal audit of the Veterans Fund. I apologize, but I believe I already answered that question in the previous meeting, but I will repeat that. I have received a draft of that report. That report is going to be hopefully completed in the next 3-4 weeks. As soon as that report, the internal audit report related to the Veterans Fund is completed, I will bring this to the board for your review. And as soon as the board has the chance to review that report, I will make that report available to the public. And that's all I have for you.
Questions for the county manager on his update from the board?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Commissioner Edwards.
County Manager, you mentioned that it's been a while, or it's timely that we investigate these fees as to the rate. When was the last time the fees were increased?
Well, that the fees increased or the fees established?
Well, the fees that we charge now, when were they put into place?
Back in 2013, and then the board tied the fees to be increased on a yearly basis based on the CPI, which is the let me give you the right acronym for is the Consumer Price Index in the region, and that's probably how you see an increase over time.
Oh, okay, but they were set in place in 13, and then they were incrementally raised according to maybe that ordinance?
The CPI.
By the CPI. Okay, and looking forward to that report. Thank you.
What report?
Well, whenever we get up to
okay.
speed. I know you won't have it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anything, Commissioner Mejia?
No questions for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to item 3, which is the consent agenda. We have items 3A through F. Any request to poll for further discussion or separate vote on these consent items?
Not on my part, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, is there a motion?
Yes, I would move that we approve consent items A through F.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda is approved. That brings us to department items. Number 4 on the agenda, Public Health and Social Services, Pierce County South Sound Shellfish Recovery Agreement. Turn it to the county manager, set this up for.
Thank you, commissioners. Sorry, for your consideration is to approve a contract with Pierce County to conduct services in association with the Thurston Conservation District related to a stream flow restoration. And I believe Jane from Public Health is here to walk us through this item.
Yes, this is Jane Mountry-Venning with Thurston County Public Health and Social Services. This is a contract, one of the National Estuary grants, National Estuary Program grants that we've had for a couple of years. This is just an amendment to an existing contract to extend the date through June of this year to continue the work in Dobbs and Fleming Creek, working on correcting pollution sources that are impacting Henderson Inlet.
Any questions for Jane from the board?
No questions for me, sir.
And I don't either. I would like to let the public know, though, that both on our consent items and on these, we've had numerous discussions on these over the last few months.
Jane, we had, the board's had discussion about Dobbs Creek in this area for a while, since the whole time that I've been a commissioner. And I'm wondering if you could kind of just kind of a high level of what kind of activities are taking place with these funds.
Sure. We started by, well, we were kind of driven to do this project based on declining water quality out in the inlet on a couple of the marine stations, and a follow-up study by the Department of Ecology showing better water quality in most of the inlet, but decreasing quality in Dobbs Creek and Fleming Creek. So we went in to do additional sampling in those creeks to try to pinpoint where that pollution was coming from. So we were able to focus the area in Dobbs Creek and then work with landowners to see about correction. So it could be things like agriculture issues, working with the conservation district to work with the landowners to implement best management practices. And in the case of the camping club, we're going forward to work with them to change how they're managing some of the wastewater in the camping club. That's been a little slower progress, and that there's a lot of long history there to sort through the records of what we are able to require and what we're able to recommend. So we're close to the end of that figuring, and we'll be going forward soon with that piece of it.
Jane, correct me if I'm wrong, but the current action the board may consider taking is just extending an existing contract, right?
Correct.
From December 31st, 2020 to June 30, 2021. And it's not including any additions or changes on the financial aspects of the contract. Is that correct?
Correct. No changes in the scope or in the finance, just the date.
And because of the pandemic, we were not be able to deliver the products or the services in this contract in 2020.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. With no further questions, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. I would move to approve amendment number 4 to the Pierce County Subrecipient Agreement, SC 105503, extends the 2018 agreement end date to June 30th, 2021, and authorize the Public Health and Social Services Director to enter into an agreement with the Thurston Conservation District as required by this agreement, and to sign this amendment and any future amendments that do not revise the duration of or agreement amount by more than 10%.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you, Jean. Okay, that brings us to item 5, Public Works. We have 3 items, and I believe 2 of them are related. The first 2, I think 5A and 5B. 5A is resolution and call for sealed bids for Yelm Highway and Meridian intersection improvements.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. 5A to 5B are related to the proposed improvements on Yelm Highway Meridian, which Public Works is planning to build a roundabout on this particular intersection. 5A is to allow the county engineer to secure bids for the construction of this project. And 5B is authorize the Public Works Director to sign the appropriate documents to secure the federal grant that is helping us to build this project. I don't know who is going to take either the lead from Public Works.
I'll do that. I am Bill Richardson,
Bill.
Associate Civil Engineer with Public Works. Thank you, County Manager. Hello, Commissioners. As the County Manager stated, we are building a roundabout at Yelm Highway Meridian Road intersection. We will also be including lighting and drainage and sidewalks. So we're going to improve the whole intersection for pedestrians as well as vehicle traffic. This project is currently budgeted. We have an estimated construction budget of $2.2 million, with $1.3 million coming from the Federal Highway Administration grant through the STP Surface Transportation Board or program. I'm here to request the permission from the for the county engineer to set the date and time for the call for sealed bids, and as well as the LAA and prospectus allowing for us to accept this money. If you have any questions.
Questions for Bill on this project?
I do. I
Go ahead,
have some
Commissioner.
questions. Bill, along how many bids are usually received in matters like this?
I'm not sure what the average would be, but I think the last several we've gotten at least 4 or 5 bids. I mean, sometimes you get as lower. This is a big enough project that we'll probably get at least that many, if not more.
And where is this advertised for people to submit for bids?
We advertise in the local papers, I think from Aberdeen up to Tacoma. And then there's a website that the VXWA website that gets posted on.
Is Builders Exchange, is that what you use?
Yes, sorry, yes, Builders Exchange.
Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Edwards?
No, sir. Again, we went over this.
Okay. And is there anything, Bill, to add about item 3?
B is just, as was stated, is the local agency agreement and prospectus, which allows the county engineer to accept the grant money to complete this project.
The 1.3 million you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then okay, so there's no questions on those 2 items. Is there a motion on 3A, and then we'll go to 3B?
Okay, on 5A, I would move to, pardon?
Sorry, 5A, I said 3A, I meant 5A.
Oh, okay, I was just helping along here. I'd move to approve a resolution and call for sealed bids and authorize the county engineer to set the bid date and time for receipt and opening of said bids for the Yelm Highway Southeast and Meridian Road Southeast intersection improvements. That's CRP number 61318.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion on 5B?
Yes, on 5B, I move to approve the local agency agreement and project prospectus with the Washington State Department of Transportation for the Yelm Highway and Meridian intersection improvements. CRP number 61318, and authorize the Director of Public Works to sign the documents and subsequent documents and any amendments that do not exceed 10%. And I just have to say those are the same CRP numbers in 2 different issues.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. And we have one more Public Works item, 5C. Resolution to apply for a grant from the Salmon Recovery Funding Board.
Yeah, this particular item is for you to consider approving a resolution for the Department of Public Works to apply for a $100,000 state grant to help in the delivery of the fish barrier removal program. And Elena Fernandez is here to walk you through the details of this item.
Thank you. My name is Elena Fernandez, and I'm the Environmental Coordinator for Thurston County Public Works. Public Works identified a project to remove a documented barrier to fish passage on an unnamed Black River tributary crossing Little Rock Road Southwest as part of the Fish Passage Enhancement Program. Upon completion, this project will open 1.65 miles of rearing and potential spawning habitat for salmonids such as coho salmon, sea-run cutthroat trout, and steelhead. This project is eligible for partial funding through a grant from the Salmon Recovery Funding Board and is administered through the Washington State Recreation and Conservation Office. This grant requires approval of a resolution to accompany the application. The $100,000 grant would be used to supplement REIT funds to support project construction. Once completed, removal of this barrier would allow fish access of 1.65 miles of significant habitat that has been inaccessible for 75 to 100 years. The Black River is a major tributary to the Chehalis River and provides an immense area for spawning and rearing salmonids. With grant opportunities like this one, Thurston County has successfully leveraged county REIT funds with awarded grant monies totaling $2.5 million. This project is in the 2021 Public Works budget, the 2021 to 2026 Transportation Improvement Plan, and also in the Capital Facilities Plan. It's also in alignment with the County Strategic Plan Initiative number 8 to, quote, support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community, as well as initiative number 9 to, quote, support environmental health and climate stabilization.
Questions for Elena about this item? Commissioner Mejia,
No, sir.
Commissioner Edwards.
Again, I guess I would just tell the viewing public out there, if they want to see additional discussion on this, we had that at 9 o'clock this morning for agenda setting. And so you'll come away if you watch that and that excellent presentation put together there by Elena, that you should have all the facts. And I have no other questions and ready for a motion.
Elena, do you have the total project cost handy?
Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're looking at about 1.5 million for the total cost.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
I would move to approve a resolution to apply for a $100,000 grant from the Salmon Recovery Funding Board, administered through the Washington State Recreation and Conservation Office, to supplement existing funding to remove a fish barrier in unnamed Black River, a fish barrier in an unnamed Black River tributary crossing the Little Rock Road southwest.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you, Jesse and Elena.
Thank you.
Okay, item 6, County Manager 6A is for commissioners to report on really anything from board work sessions to community events, assigned committee meetings. I'll start with Commissioner Mejia.
Yes, last week I attended on Friday the Yelm High School Pathways Career Center event. Thank you, Commissioner Edwards, for recommending me to attend that. And I gave a presentation in both English and Spanish, and I found out my Spanish is a little rusty, so I have to get back to practicing on that. But that went very well. And yesterday, with the help of public health, thank you to Shelley Slaughter and Dr. A, and also Ramiro for setting up a COVID-19 FAQ with organizations and their directors. And I think the conversation was very productive on how these organizations in our community could assist us moving forward. So I'm very excited about that and for the possibility to become an ongoing forum. So that is all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Edwards.
I guess I'll just follow up a little bit on what Commissioner Mejia said in her presentation. For you parents out there, that presentation will be shared with the other school districts around Thurston County, and they were really looking for a bilingual presentation, and I might add, it was very good. Anyway, I think my activities are going to mainly consist of an EDC meeting and attending a League of Women Voters event on immigration. And then the regular COVID-19 issues that we're dealing with and concerns from citizens in regards to vaccinations and getting the schools open. So I'll just let it end there. Thank you.
Thank you. I was also in attendance, as was, I believe, Commissioner Mejia at the League of Women Voters Immigration event. kind of ticking through what items are moving forward at federal, state, and local levels. Saturday, I attended climate change training through the People for Climate Justice, which is essentially a King County version of the Thurston Climate Action Team here, a citizen group that's working on putting on trainings. And they had, with Zoom, you get to have speakers from all over the country. So we actually had folks from New York City and Berkeley, California, explaining the ordinances that they put in place, how they're structured and what they do. And it was very interesting. Attended the Together Gala on Saturday, and that was a great event, and they were able to meet their fundraising goals, which was great. Attended a WASAC forum yesterday regarding the new federal relief act that's being debated in the Senate, I guess, at this point, and we're just trying to prepare for what that might mean for counties across the state. And worked on some trail maintenance issues that citizens have raised and trying to figure out where we're at on a few different items of trail maintenance and repair. So that's it for me. I will move to item 6B, County Manager reviewing our combined schedule.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before I walk you through your combined schedule, if you allow me to share some sad news, Mr. Chris Richardson, he is the member of the Chehalis Tribe. He's the managing director of the Chehalis Tribe Enterprises. He passed away unexpectedly at his home in Olympia, Washington, this past Wednesday, February 24, 2021. Chris, as I know him, he has been a key member of our community. He has built an incredible bridge between at least the county and the Chehalis Tribe Enterprises. He has been very active on the steady team, as well as he has been very active on the boys, Big Brothers, Big Sisters group. Also, he has been extremely active in coordinating and in partnering with the county on the development of the Grand Mountain area. So my sympathies goes to his family, to the Chehalis Tribe as a whole, and he certainly will be missed. Great individual. So with that in mind, let me walk you through your combined schedule for the upcoming week, where at least 2 commissioners will be present. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars. Those will not be part of my report. Nothing for the remainder of today on your combined schedule. On Wednesday, March 3rd, tomorrow, at 10:30, you will have the opportunity to welcome new employees to Thurston County. 1:30 in the afternoon is a follow-up to the water resources inventory areas. At 2:30 in the afternoon, we have another budget work session. Thursday, March 4th, at 10 in the morning, you have a commissioner's check-in, and we will be publishing an agenda 24 hours in advance. 1 in the afternoon, Thursday, March 4th, you have your regular check-in with Superior Court. And at 2 in the afternoon, you have an executive session related to the OPMA and the Board of County Commissioners meeting. And this is a follow-up to a previous executive session you had a little bit over a week ago. On Thursday, March 4th, in the afternoon, you have been invited to participate on the cruise to celebrate the retirement of the Under Sheriff Tim Braniff. And that is going to be located on the 7721 New Market Street in the Field Operations Office of the Sheriff. Nothing on your combined schedule for Friday, March 5th. Nothing on your combined schedule for Monday, March 4th. On March 9th, you will convene here at 9 in the morning to review the agenda. And 2 in the afternoon, you have your regular Board of County Commissioners meeting. And at 3:30, you have your regular Board of Health meeting. That's all I have for you.
Okay. Assistant County Manager, anything? Robin? Nope. Okay. Anything for the good of the order?
No, sir.
Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Thank you.